Today on Substance Stories, we're going to be talking about vaping, the harms and benefits. I want to talk about vaping because this is something that I hear people really have a lot of misinformed opinions on. So first I'm going to talk about the history of vaping, and vaping's really interesting because back in the 90s, the cigarette companies actually had a very similar setup. It wasn't quite vaping, but it was very, very similar, and they were going to roll it out. And then there was a big kickback against the cigarette companies and in the 90s and all that cancer and depositions to US Congress, and they thought this is too bad a look because we're selling flavoured nicotine products and this is clearly marketed towards children. So they pulled it and they never launched it. However, lucky tobacco companies, a guy in Hong Kong in the 20noughties, I believe, invented vaping. And vaping is a fantastic way to sell nicotine to children because you're selling flavoured smoke, right? Candy, bubble gum. The names themselves sound like the ice cream that a child has: rainbow, bubble gum, ice blue. Vaping is obviously marketed towards children, and what we saw was prior to vaping, there was a sort of steady decline in cigarettes and a steady decline in nicotine use, and then vaping came along and there was a big uptake, especially amongst teens. Vaping absolutely makes you addicted to nicotine, and that absolutely converts into smoking cigarettes. So that's the negative things about vaping. The positive things, and this is what I hear people get wrong a lot, vaping is much, much, much less harmful than cigarettes. If you were going to use nicotine, I would very much like you to use vaping over cigarettes. And people often say to me, oh, vaping's much worse. No, it's not much worse. Cigarettes are really, really, really bad for you. I would prefer you quit nicotine altogether. If you're unable to quit nicotine altogether, I would prefer you vape. And if you vape, there are ways to do it more safe. You can use refillable vapes with nicotine that you get from a chemist. You can change the coils and the filters on those refillable vapes more regularly. They are more regulated and they're going to be much, much safer than just those standard disposable vapes. If you do vape and you're looking to quit, you can absolutely use vaping to help you quit. There's evidence in a controlled trial setting, vaping absolutely can be an effective way to help people quit. However, the best way to help people quit is still a medication called Varenicline, or often called Champix, which acts as a sort of receptor partial agonist. It sort of helps you wean yourself off nicotine. You can match that with a bit of nicotine patches and nicotine gum. It's a much, much easier way than vaping. And the other thing to keep in mind is all of this stuff works if you're doing quit counselling with it. If you're not doing quit counselling with it, all of this stuff is unlikely to work. There are fantastic free resources for quitting smoking in Australia, accessible for everyone. All you need to do is pick up a phone and call Quitline, and my goodness, will your lungs be happy with you. So, in conclusion, vaping, better than cigarettes, not worse than cigarettes, but also still not great, and let's try and get off nicotine altogether.